Hello there, welcome to another episode of World of Tanks and Gainey Titan, and we're here in Northwest Standard Battle, and I'm in the FE4202P. This is the Tier 8 British medium tank that used to be the Tech 3 Tier 10 medium tank, before the Centurion Action X was brought into the game. Most of my games in this tank that are on my service record were actually played when this was a Tier 10 medium tank, not when it was brought down to the Tier 5 premium tank. I have a few games in it in the premium tank, including a 1v3 game that I played shortly after getting it, but that game I was extremely lucky in. That's not to say that I was not very lucky in this game as well. However, I have been playing these tanks all week, and I've been playing them terribly. The FE4302P not so badly, but the Sentinel T95 I have been absolutely awful in. I mean, truly and astoundingly bad. Frequently ending games with no damage, or 200, 400 points of damage, 1, 2, 3 penetrations, 500 points of damage, that sort of thing. Terrible performances put in this tank altogether. I've been doing a little, but not a whole lot better in the that's in the FE4202P. Now that Snakebite's got very little health left. I suspect that he lost most of that diving off the cliff, or driving off the cliff at high speed and landing rather hard in the middle of nowhere. So we have a Nameless further down, and I don't have much noise support up here. Now the Nameless is in a bit of trouble because he's out in the open against 5 tanks, 6 tanks maybe. All with lights of sight to him, and I'm lighting him up. And it's a terribly lively tank, and if you expose your sides at all, you're completely screwed. The frontal armour is really good, but the side armour is very, very bad, and has nothing really in the line of gun depression. Now I'm a little bit worried about my situation here. I'm concerned that there are a lot of tanks over my head, and I want to see if this is the case. And I'd prefer to find out now while I have a chance of escaping, rather than later on when there might be no cover at all. So we managed to spot a few tanks, and the T-32 in particular. We snap a shot off, and we don't get anything really. A bit worried about artillery. So we back off and we try and go up somewhere else. I don't want to keep doing the same thing. There's a lot of tanks down here that I don't particularly want to face, depending on how far back they are. T-32 pops up, and I spot him, so he takes some damage from the guys camping the ridge lines there along the B line and the C line. Don't know which one, but I'm still very exposed. I have nothing in the line of support really. There's one medium tank moving up, but he's still back a ways, and I could get into trouble, serious trouble, long before he would arrive. So I push forward a bit. I want to see if I can spot some more. If they pull back far enough, the guys on the ridge lines at the back will not be able to shoot them. But there's the T-32, and he's back. He's not taking any fire from across the map. And again, I'm worried about artillery, so I kind of back up, and then I'm going to pull forward and tuck myself in here behind the rocks, behind the spur off the mountain. And then we'll peek the corner again and see what, if anything, we're going to see. So we spot an ISU 152, and I think that's bad news. There's a Carnarvon down there and an ISU 152. Well, I'm thinking to myself, feck this for a game of soldiers. There's no point in hanging around here without any support from behind. The guys behind me are in no position to shoot anything that I'm lighting up. There is solid cover between me and them, and between me and the guys that are lighting up. So I'm just getting out of here. I'm not going to be engaged in a corridor frontal fight with a heavy tank and a tank destroyer with that kind of alpha on the gun, especially since it's probably stinging HE, and it will do 300 to 400 points of damage when it hits me anyway, because of the frontal weak spots in this tank. Now I thought I should be able to get shots through to the rear area of the turrets of the T-28 prototype, but then I'm not 100% sure of the angle. If he's angled towards me, I'm actually firing into the strongest part of the armour, and I wouldn't be getting those shots off, or those shots through. However, the T-28 prototype's gone. There's a medium in trouble down here, I can just tell from the look of it, because he's down there with another medium and a tank destroyer, and that's just guaranteed trouble. So I snap off a shot on the medium, fail to connect, and it's a Comet against the Pershing, and the SU-152 finishes him off. Again, one hit from that big gun, and that's the end of the game for the Comet. So the Pershing is there. Don't want to go down the SU-152 while the Pershing is there, or while the Comet is there, because that would make it just too difficult. So the Pershing has gone off to engage the other medium, and I thought, okay, then I have a chance against the SU-152. If I can avoid the blast from the barrel, I should be able to get around him easily enough and finish him off. So, and then I thought, no, I'm stuck. And I really was stuck. I couldn't move the tank at all, but fortunately I was able to swing the back of the tank to the left, and that was able to undo me from the rock face there and just unstick me. And there's an SU-152 driving blithely out in front of me and taking no notice of my presence whatsoever. We'll teach him to ignore me like that. And now he's a one-shot kill, and I should have actually just rammed him and put the shot into the Pershing. It would have saved me a bit of grief. So we get around into the Pershing. We get another round into the Pershing, and that'll finish the Pershing off, and that's it. So now we're here. We're managed to claw it back to even. We were 4 tanks down there at one point. There is a Scourge up between my 2 tank destroyers. There's a medium supporting them. That was our own Pershing, I think, and there is the IS-3 down here. So I'm going to drive across the bows of the IS-3. I presume he's looking this way, and there he is, but he's not quite looking at me. And we just keep going. We get around him. We get off lightly. So we keep going. Mobility is the order of the day. I don't want to sit around and brawl with an IS-3. No, this tank. I don't have the remaining hit points, and we put a round in. We've tracked him again. We haven't actually managed to get a proper penetration, and I'm going to keep going. I have a medium coming up to support, so between the two of us, we should be able to finish off the IS-3 easily enough if your man times the attacks properly. Now, he's surely waiting for me. He is, but he isn't waiting for me quite well enough, and he doesn't attract me, and he doesn't do major damage. So we've done another bit of damage, and we've taken him down that little bit further, and we're going to be here, and I'm going to start splitting on the spot, because he's after taking out the other medium, so the other medium just blundered straight into him. Bounce that round. Turret's tracking this way, and I have a fair bit of distance to go before I can close in close enough to get around him faster than his turret rotation. He's not making it easy by trying to pull out of the circle of death, and it's one shot now. Whoever gets the first shot off that's effective, it's over. I must say at this point my hands were shaking. I was really wound up. So all that remains now is the 2 artillery, but I don't have a lot of hit points left, and a single successful shotgun, and it's all over. And they're platooned artillery as well, so they're talking to each other and they're in communication. At least they're not top tier heavy tanks. I don't know if I'd be able to manage 2 more top tier heavy tanks at this point in the game. Where is the artillery? Well, I know where one of them is, but there's no guarantee that they're both together at that location. The M50 or M4043 was actually in quite a bold position, but he realised his danger, and he was able to get back into cover before I was able to line up a shot at him. Now I'm kind of going to my left with the hope that I can duck around to my right, and maybe they're not going to be looking at me. Maybe they're going to be pointing somewhere else when I get around to them. But I come here, the M4043 is actually on watch. He's fairly brave, and since he's been constantly sticking his tank up. Bounced that one actually on the front slope, and we managed to get down around and take the shot from here. Unfortunately, by the time I got the reload actually complete, the 2 tanks are in a position to cover, or at least the M4043 is in a position to cover the situation properly. Now, I thought for a while there the Lorraine would back up enough that I'd be able to get a shot off of the Lorraine as he pulled away from the slope. So then I thought, okay, we'll have to come up with something slightly different, maybe. Slightly different approach, see if we can get away with it. So, we come back. I could try going around. I thought about it. But I thought it's far easier to shotgun me and much harder to get away in the narrow defile coming up to that that gully. Whereas if I approach from this end, I have lots of directions of approach to come at them from. Now they've learned their lesson. The M4043 did not stay up trying to shotgun me at the lip of the gully. He pulled right back so that I wasn't able to get a clean shot at him. So I thought, okay, maybe go for plan C and actually start capping. Then I thought maybe I can use the cover of the building here and pull up far enough to spot them as they come up the gully. And here it is, the M4043. Now he comes up and I roll, and I'm using HE because it's kind of supposed to penetrate artillery, but that was a very low roll and I thought that was a waste of time. I'd have been better off using an AP round and I would have finished him. Didn't realise it in game though. I was shaking at this point practically. I had the controller in a death grip. Thought I'd make it out past the Lorraine before he'd hit me, but he managed to clip me with the shot. But I was able to get around into the M4043 before he fired, and now all I need to do is stay out of reach of the Lorraine's gun while he's reloading, and we finish him off, and it's game over. And it was a massive sigh of relief on my part. I was actually shaking so much at this point that I had to stop playing. My fingers were practically numb from just gripping the controller. So we survived 1 versus 3 in the end. 7,700 experience, almost 3,500 damage. Well, I suppose 4,500 combined damage if you take into account spotting and assisted damage. And well, we bounced a few rounds as well, and we had ace tanker, first class sort of Top Gun ace tanker, and we came number 1 by experience. 8 enemies damaged, 6 killed, blocked 633 non-penetrating shots. That was delighted to get the game. It shows, I suppose, that I can, if I play them right and abandon hopeless situations and actually look for opportunities, I can do pretty well on this tank. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please give it a like and a share. If you've not already done so, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much once again for watching. I'll catch you all again soon. Bye for now.